What's going on, guys? Welcome back. It is episode 24 of Career Mode. Man, we have got a big one today on the back of that Diarra sale to Manchester United. £55 million club record fee. And today we have deadline day as we'll aim to replace him. Just before we get there, by the way, I'm not sure if I showed it in the last episode, but we've got another injury. Brian Brobby, but it's just a bruise. It's not a big one. But at least we know we are starting to get the injuries now after upping the sliders. But yeah, there's loads to get through today, man. We've got transfer deadline there, over 130 million in the budget. We've got more big games in the Premier League after a bit of a... Oh my god. Why do it now? You had the whole of the summer window, guys. Why are you doing it now? Well, let's just calm ourselves down, because to be fair, I think Adam Wharton will negotiate a new contract. You know, he's been an amazing DLP this season. His average rating speaks for itself, and he's happy everywhere, unlike Diarra. So I might say to Adam, listen, see out the season, son. I could just turn it down, but... I don't want to be a hypocrite. I said I wanted this to happen. As we said in the last episode, it would be great if when a bid like that comes in from a far bigger club, that the player would come to you and tell you what they're thinking. With Habib being approached by Manchester United and now Adam Wharton being approached by Atletico Madrid, it would be great if those players would come in, like in FM, and say, boss, I appreciate, it's middle of the season, but I really want to go. This is the next step for me in my career, for example. Or they're, not going to say anything and they're totally fine staying here for now. But as for Atletico, how are they getting on in La Liga? Because if they're having a disappointing season, they're top. They're top. I was going to say, if they're having a disappointing season, I could possibly say, Adam, bro, you got more chance of a European football with us, mate. But no, they're top of that. I can't say no. All I'm going to ask Simeone to do is meet the release clause. If he does that, he can have him. Yep, don't forget, when we signed Adam Wharton at the start of Season 2, we included a release clause for clubs in the Champions League. Right now, Atletico, top of the table in La Liga under Mikel Arteta, working wonders there. So I've got to let him go. 70 million. Was it 70 or 65? I think it was 70. 70. Let's go with 70. 70 million was the release clause we tacked on for clubs in the Champions League, which is under what his true valuation would... What? How are you not even going to meet market valuation? Mikel, he's got a release clause, mate. He's got a release clause. I hold the cards here, you don't. He's got 3.5 years left in his deal, or is it 2.5 years? A long time anyway. I hold the cards, you don't. That release clause is there. Do you know what? No, I'm not doing that. I'm not bowing to that player. I'm not bowing to you, Mikel. There's a fair release clause, which is under true valuation. You're not willing to meet that, forget it. But Adam's not going to be happy, but so what? There's a release clause in the contract, Adam. Until someone meets it, you're staying here. Right, now here's what I would absolutely love, by the way. Here's what I would absolutely love. If I just advanced 1 or 2 days in the calendar, I would absolutely love it if I would get a player conversation and Adam says, why have you priced me out of a move to a La Liga leading club and a Champions League team? But unfortunately, it just doesn't happen in career mode. It's so frustrating. So do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to assume that he would say, Gaffer, why aren't you letting me go, son? So I'm going to put him on the transfer list. This is where, to me, EA kind of let themselves down. He's still very happy, despite the fact I've just priced him out of a move to a club that's probably going to win La Liga and can go far in the Champions League. This is where I think EA lets themselves down a little bit. For the realism, this is what I would like them to work on here. Adam, I'm going to transfer list you out of what we assume would be requests in real life. And if we get the 70 mil release clause, which he basically is right next to anyway, then yeah, I'll have no choice but to let him go. And this is also why I don't encourage people to utilise the in-game release clauses you can add into contracts, because ultimately it means that any club can meet that, which means that your player may take a sideways or backward step when the release clause is met. I say make your own up, write it down, always make sure you remember it, and have it for clubs that are playing in a European competition or perhaps a higher division. Makes the game a lot more realistic. Anyway, following game, I guess it will be Wharton's farewell game here. 1 win in 4 or 5 in the league. No wins in our last 3. Sunderland definitely slipping up, and now relegation threatened West Brom. This is a massive psychological game of the Hawthorns here. Got to come through this. This is really where I want the game to utilise the intelligence, And when it comes down to realism, by the way, we briefly touched on this in the last episode, but you can't always get it right. I certainly don't always get it right. You can always try to, but you don't always get it right. That's the motto I stick to. But ultimately, I do want to point out, not everyone wants to play realistically, and that's totally fine as well. As I mentioned before, you know, you work hard, you spend your hard-earned money on the game, you enjoy it and play it however you want to play it. If you want to play as Manchester United and sign Mbappe and Haaland and Vinicius and whoever else, that is totally fine. Play the game however you want, as long as you enjoy it, it's all that matters. But I think for me, the way to keep fans happy from those who prefer a more realistic way of playing the game and those who just want to play the sandbox way of just having as much fun as possible, as Talby opens to scoring but it's chalked off for offside. The way to keep both sets of fans happy, in my opinion, is just to have the feature toggled on and off. Like, you can have lots of things toggled on and off, you know, board sacking, for example, so you can, you know, be as bad as you possibly can on purpose and still never get the sack. You can turn off things like, you know, financial takeovers, the first transfer window and whatnot. So why, and sometimes as well, transfer negotiations, you can make them strict or loose to whatever kind of game and challenge you want. So why can't you turn off, like, a more realistic way of playing the game as well? To me, that's a missed trick from EA, that. You know, make the transfer market more realistic, but make it a toggled feature you can have on and off, depending on what kind of experience you want when playing career mode. Well, this CM so far has been, you know, somewhat smooth sailing. You know, the first season, there were a couple of dips here and there where we were a little nervy, but for the most part, we felt pretty fine. But this is it. This is the first real challenge we've got to go through, man. When I say real challenge, I mean real challenge, because, you know, we've already lost Lafie, Alderete, Diarra, and we assume Wharton's going to go before the end of the window as well. And that's two of the three midfielders who are so crucial to the way we play, leaving in January. And in the form we're in right now as well, no wins in again our last three. I think it's 1 win in 4 or 5. This is the challenge. This is the biggest challenge we've had so far. And the question is, how are we going to weather it and come out the other side? And can we still cling on to a top 4 place with everything that's going on both on and off the pitch? Oh, what a ball, Robbie. Well, we should return to winning ways here. Talby takes all the time in the world after the through ball, and the simple finish ain't going to be missed either. That's what I mentioned before. Keepers need to work on their intelligence. Why is he just standing there and letting me come through? But it is 1-0, and that is what we needed. Pressure relieving. I'm so hopeful that no club needs that £70 million release clause for Adam before the end of the window as well. And that way I'm going to keep him. Like, if I don't get 70 million, forget it, Adam. You're staying here. Even though you might be wanting that move, I'm saying, mate, you've got the release clause there, it's for a reason. Till someone meets it, you're staying with me. That's a great build-up. That's a fantastic goal, that is. Brilliantly done. Called it for at the back of the net. Wonderfully worked move into the middle. And Brian Brobby gets the goal to go along with the assist. 2-0 Sunderland. Exactly what we needed here in the Black Country. Great performance. When you talk about handling the pressure, this is how it's done. A big victory away. Oh no, that would have been amazing. I had to try it, man, because I knew the win was in the bag. I wanted to put a bit of style in it, but it is a brilliant win for Sunderland, and hopefully the start of us getting back to form. Probably without Wharton, but certainly with confidence. That was a fantastic display in the second half. Just going to imagine Wharton going over to the away fans, clapping them home. Oh, is that the final time we'll see him do that in a Sunderland shirt? I guess we'll find out. You got to make the game more immersive, man. The base game is all right when it comes down to these kind of things, but you got to add a bit of spice to it, really, don't you, to really get you going. So Mundell's going to go to Como. I like that, with Como being an emerging team on a free come the end of the season. Totally fine with me. Couldn't negotiate a new contract anyway. But 10 hours to go. This is it. Is Wharton going or staying? And well, I mean, I don't. I wouldn't have stood in his way for that one anyway. Yeah, deadline day, hour in, Real Madrid. It's over mark evaluation. I'm not even going to negotiate. There we go. Mikel, that's how you do it, son. Don't waste my time with that kind of offer. To learn on the Xhaka who just went there as well, and the elite midfielders they have had over the years. That is fair. Yep, I was very fair with Adam when I signed him. I said if a club meets the release clause, and now Dortmund want to take him as well. I think at this point, though, he would obviously choose Real Madrid, in my opinion. I said if a big club comes calling, I won't stand in your way. I said that if they meet the release clause, there's nothing I can do anyway. That's why I included it. And to me, this is just a great way to make CM a little... Is he seriously not gone yet? Has he turned it down? I know he's still negotiating. Dortmund put a swap deal in. Plus, Bellingham return. How cool would that be, man? But if that, I would actually consider that if Real Madrid hadn't put the bid in. But the Real Madrid one, I think, is probably realistically where we go anyway. So we'll wait for that deal to go through. But this, to me, is just a great way to make Koreman more fun. Don't include the release clauses. Has he seriously not gone? Dortmund have just withdrew their offer. But what? The Real Madrid, has he turned that? There's no way he's turned that down. Surely not. Surely it'll go through here. There we go. This to me, I was going to say, are you really going to turn Real Madrid to stay here? That'll make you a club legend for sure. But this to me is just a great way to make the game more realistic, more challenging, more immersive, and add a bit of spice to it as well. Don't include the release clauses that Karimo give you because the players might take a sideways or backward step, but make your own, write them down, don't forget them, and this is a great way to do it. Wharton could have stayed here forever if we wanted to keep him here because it's that easy in Grimo, but when a club like Real Madrid come calling in real life, you can't stand in their way. Adam, I was good as my word. You've been as good as you could have been for us. Mutually beneficial. Everyone's happy. I'll take the cash and say farewell. It's great though, isn't it? Like it's great. This to me again is what people should do if they want their career modes to be more enjoyable. Give yourself a challenge. Hold yourself accountable. Try a little bit more realism if you haven't done it before, because you don't need to go over the top in terms of realism, but just little things like that, you know. Big club comes calling, don't stand in that player's way, you know, get a bit of that cash and try and replace them, see what you can do. So we're kind of screwed at the moment. We've got basically zero depth. We've lost a heartbeat of our team, quite literally, in the middle of the park. I thought of all three players to still be here, I would not have put my money on Siddiqui, but yeah, we're definitely going to have to make a signing. We've got almost 200 million in the budget now. So 6 hours to go, I think it is, or 4 hours to go. We're going to make at least one or two signings, but I don't know who. Well, obviously, we're going to need a new midfielder to come in, give us some depth, but also possibly start in this team as well. I do quite like the idea of going with Talby through the middle, to be fair. But I still want someone to sit alongside Siddiqui as the DLP. There's a few names I've got on the shortlist here, and one thing I will say is that I know how many people want me to sign Ahmad. I've seen guys. I've seen you. All right, I have seen how many people want me to sign Ahmad. I just don't know whether I could do it this season. I just don't know. I mean, to be fair, they've just nicked Diarra off of us, haven't they? Like they've literally just signed Diarra off of me. So would that be in the case? They've still got Fernandes. Fernandes is still there. He'd be a guaranteed star, even at his age, as the captain. So they've now signed a new playmaker as well. And have they still got some other good midfielders too? Mount's still there. Cunha's still there, and he's balling out. And Ahmad's only played 9 times this season. He's only had 9 games. That's not even half the games so far. And they've still got Ugarte for a deeper player as well. I don't know if I could do it. I think possibly, but I'm not sure. He's literally not playing at Manchester United this season. They've just brought in Diarra as the replacement for Fernandes as well. I think what I'm going to do is let him see out the season there at Manchester United. And if we finish above them and finish in a high European competition, which as things stand looks odds on to happen, then I'll bring him in for next season. So that's the plan. For next season, if we're still in Europe, which as things stand, touch wood, fingers crossed, we definitely should be, then I'll bring him in. But until then, I'm going to go with a stopgap kind of player. And there's a few I could choose between, really. Hannibal, who was relegated with Burnley last season, would probably be the ideal fit. And you know I love that 90 stamina as well. So with that being the case, I'm definitely going to go after Ahmad, but it will be next season, dependent on league finish between the two clubs and if Manchester United do start playing him or not there. But for now, I'm going to go with Hannibal, even though Ahmad will be the successor. Hannibal's going to be like our Lafitte, I think. Let's go bring him in. Yeah, I really like this signing. Is he good enough to replace Adam Wharton as our star DLP? Probably not, and I see him more as a box-to-box, really. So I've already got the Siddiqui replacement if he fancies leaving me as well. But he's definitely a great successor for Enzo Lafitte. A handy squad player with bags of energy off the bench who I know I can always rely on coming in a 5-year, 50 grand a week deal. Welcome to the Stadium of Light. Hannibal. Yeah, I love this guy's stats, man. 25, Tunisian international in the prime of his career right now as well, and still getting better as well. For the fee we just spent and the stats he's got, this is a great player we can have for all these years. I'm very pleased with that signing. Here's the options we've got, right? We can either bring in a star midfielder, or we can possibly sign maybe a new backup winger, because we know Mundell's going to go anyway. and have Talby or Adingra through the middle. I'm not putting Fatawi through the middle. He's left-footed and too good. That's the question we ask. Are we going for a new backup winger off the bench? We're going to need a new centre half as well. I totally forgot about that. Alderete's departure means we've only got Mukiele and Gertrudi. If one of those goes down, we are literally screwed. Let's get a centre half. We need a new centre half. Well, I've got a few names on the shortlist. As we know, Mark Gay left to Mallorca. I was very tempted. How are Mallorca getting on right now? Now, I don't know if I should go for this. Maybe Mark's feeling a little bit homesick, possibly, in the Balearic Islands. I would never miss home if I lived in the Balearic Islands, that's for sure. I certainly wouldn't miss the weather. How are Mallorca getting on? I mean, they are right now mid-table in La Liga. I mean, theoretically, I could go for this. But he's only been there 18 months. Again, just like a man, I think maybe next season, but this season, maybe not. I think I'll leave him there so at least he sees out 2 years. But there are a couple of others I'm really keen on. I have lost a full scout report on Harwood Bellis. Same with Lukumi, who I know have been recommended in the comments quite a lot at the start of the save. Obviously now he's 29, so looking for someone a bit younger anyway. You got Santiago Bueno, who's got Wolves back in the big time. Wouldn't mind bringing him in, but again at 29, I want someone a bit younger. And with that being the case, there's a couple of names that I think would be great for us. And right now, they're both in the Championship as well. You've got Maxence Lacroix at Crystal Palace. Really, really good defender. I'm a big fan of his in real life as well, so I'm surprised he's still there. But also Esteve at Burnley, who was recommended in the comments as well. Maxime Esteve, and the bonus to him as well is that not only is he younger than Lacroix, but he's also left-footed too. And for a replacement for Alderete, I always like an LCB and an RCB with those preferred feet. This guy I think would fit us absolutely perfect. Let's go bring him in. Very happy with this signing as well. Poor Burnley. First it was Hannibal, and I said, mate, before you leave the office, let's chat about that centre half you got as well, shall we? I've rated them for these two signings, but right now with them in mid-table in the Championship, I think it's time for these two players to be jumping ship back to the Premier League. So coming in on a really decent small transfer fee, all things considered, on a 5-year 45 grand a week deal, just like Hannibal in the prime of his career right now at 25 years old and still getting better as the successor for Alderete, but also someone that could possibly take over Mukiele's place right now with Nordi in his 30s. Welcome to the Stadium of Light, Maxime Esteve. Yeah, great defender at Burnley, and he had that shocker at the Etihad a couple of weeks ago, so when we go to Man City, I might leave him out of the squad. But yeah, him being left-footed is a really nice bonus as well, man. So he's a great successor for Alderete, a rating higher, a few years younger, and also still getting better as well. These are two really solid pickups. So I got some great comments in the last episode for who we would bring in as the big star to replace Diarra, if not Ahmad. Mateus Fernandes was an excellent shout in the comments. Unfortunately, he's literally just moved on to Lazio. It was a brilliant suggestion as well, because West Ham are indeed struggling right now, just above the bottom three, but he's jumped ship to Rome, so that deal's gone. Alex Scott, I have had him a few times before. I don't mind signing players I've had before, but I do try and sign players I've not had any experience with, if I can, which is obviously very difficult. You've done so many career modes over the years. Azun and Paz, don't have full scout reports on the guys. Great comment suggestions, but we'll probably have to wait till next season for one of those two youngsters. And the other target I was thinking is maybe Jadon Philogene at Ipswich Town, right now in the Championship. The only problem is, whilst he can play through the middle, like Talby, like Adingra, he's mainly a winger. And the one position we don't need right now is an out-and-out winger. So with that being the case, with the money we've got, I might let it carry over till next season, and for the first time in the save, work with a monster transfer budget, which we'll have for next year, and just recall Chris Rigg. I'm going to bring the young man back. Wolves are not playing him at Molineux, and I do not know why, because he is a serious, serious talent. But he needs the game time if he's going to develop. So if Wolves aren't going to play him for the rest of the season, I might as well recall him anyway. There's no way to get him back out on loan for the rest of the season. So with that being the case, I'm going to say I believe in him, even if Wolves don't right now. So Rigg is going to come back. He's just had a +1. Is he just got a +1? Did he just go up +1 there? Well, I'll take it. I'll certainly take it. Did I see that right? Well, he's up 2 anyway, but yeah, they weren't playing him at Wolves. I'm going to play him here. I did see, he's lost a potential he's lost a bit of potential. I did see some comments saying bring Rigg back and play him, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. Chris Rigg needs the game time. He's a really, really good player. I've loaned him out to Fulham and I've loaned him out to Wolves. Fulham gave him a bit of game time. Wolves haven't given him any. He helped them get promotion last year and they haven't used him for this season. So what I think I'm going to do is try and split the game time between he, Talby and Adingra as the CAM. But we always plan to have Chris Rigg starting at some point once he got to a good level. He's not quite as good as I was hoping at this point, 3.5 years in, but he still has developed quite nicely. Mundell's going at the end of the season anyway. So I'm okay with that. Two new signers coming in. The recall of Chris Riggs. We've actually increased the depth. No, we haven't, because we lost Alderete too and the fee. Never mind. We actually decreased the depth. Sorry, no, I was wrong. But I'm okay with that. I'm going to leave the rest of the money. We'll have a monster budget for next season, and I'm going to gamble that this team is good enough to keep us in the top 4. I believe it is. Yep, I'm going to trust that this team is good enough to keep us in the top 4, and I believe it is as well. As you see the top deals, wow, for the first time, Sunderland have gotten the top deal. Adam Wharton going to Real Madrid for 75.8 million. Gutting, but like I said, man, this was always the plan when we signed him anyway. Trubin is Arsenal's new man between the sticks to replace what they've been using as Courtois, and Gutierrez has joined Manchester United in their bid to take us out of the top 4. So that is it. A chaotic January window comes to an end. Guys, I literally just recalled him. I literally just brought him back. No, David. No. Down, David. Down. Come back in the summer, mate. Right. Chaotic window. Let's do the scouting. Three missions. Let's see what we got. We're from Japan. We have found a really good left back here, to be fair. Shinji Mori, who is going to make it. I did get a cool comment, by the way, from Lawless411. He said, one opinion on the scouting methodology. One opinion on the scouting. They can't be poached, but they don't develop if you don't sign them, which makes them further from the first team when brought into the academy. I would say when you have a fairly good idea of potential. That's a really good point. Very good point. It's something I didn't consider myself. But yeah, the longer you leave them in the scouting pool, they're not going to increase their ability. So it's a very good point I didn't consider. So definitely want to think about there. Great comment that. But yeah, one player making it from Japan. As for Bolivia, starting to find a few gems here, to be fair. And this guy could be very good indeed. Miguel Lucero. For now, we'll continue scouting and see how these guys look after another month. And from Sweden, there's a couple of players here that do look pretty decent. Jonathan Ekstrom looks pretty handy, I must say. 6'2", CDM, showing great potential. So I'm going to give him a scholarship there. And I'll continue scouting the others for... Oh, he could be very good as well. Put them both in, actually. And continue scouting the others for now. Right, following game. My goodness, that January window took a long time to get through. Based on the chaos, I'm not surprised. But Sunderland may have stabilised. We made 2 new signs. We brought back one of our best prospects out of the academy in Chris Rigg. And on the back of that win away at the Baggies, let's see if it can kickstart a run of form. Following contest away from home, Leeds at Ellen Road, where with 14 games to go, we are still in the top 4. Let's make sure we stay that way and get a big win to keep us here. Come on. Yep, hopefully you guys don't mind a few less games today to squeeze in all that transfer drama. But yeah, that was a long deadline day to end a long window. I'm just kind of glad it's over, really, because I couldn't afford to lose anyone else. I'm glad the deadline day is only 10 hours and not the full 24 like in real life. Because otherwise, I could see bids coming in for Lucherel and Siddiqui and possibly Brommy up top as well. He's done brilliantly well there. The feed for Adingra and a golden chance as the speedster is away and the finish is denied, but it's headed in by Talby on the rebound. And that is why I quite like this guy at CM, because it makes him more direct. It's 2 in 2. And that's why, despite recalling Rigg, he's not going to be a guaranteed starter. Talby needs the game time as much as he does. It's 2 in as many games. It is really difficult because Adingra, Fatawu and Talby are all sensational wingers. Now, I can't drop Fatawu. He's cooled down after the red-hot start to the season, but he's the only left footer of the 3. So obviously, oh, that is so unlucky. Obviously, he's going to be a guaranteed starter. I think that'll go down as an own goal from Lucherel. And Adingra is absolutely brilliant off that left-hand side. But for Talby, he's one of the highest potential youngsters Sunderland have, so I need to get him the game time as well. I'm looking at them all and saying, can't one of you play left back? Can't one of you please fill in at LCB? Like, you know what I mean? Like, someone come and play fullback for me, and you're guaranteed to be a starter. But Yeah, that's the problem we've got really. It's just so many great players, but in the same position. We loaned out Talby to Sporting Lisbon in Season 1. I wasn't against doing it this season, but I'm glad I didn't because I knew I would need him at some point. As oh, what a rocket that is by Tanaka, and Leeds have flipped the script. But yeah. This is a big game, man. Just came through West Brom, but from a goal up to 2-1 down in a blink of an eye, we can't afford another game without a win in the Premier League. There is no way we'll hold on to top 4 in the form we're in right now. Where you going? Surely, Adingra. Oh, should have just shot it. Joe Rodden was there for the interception. I always feel, I don't know if you guys know this, but like when I've missed one chance with a player, I'm very reluctant to shoot again, unless it is my out-and-out striker. If it's like my CAM or my winger, oh surely, great football. And again, Adingra is denied by Vicario. That's what I mean. My confidence goes. As soon as I miss a shot, that's it. I've lost my belief. If we would have kept our band together, I feel very confident no matter what we would have been top 4 coming the end of the season. But like I said, for the Wharton and Diarra deals, couldn't really stand in their way. It's good football now. It's really good. It's excellent football. Robbie's at the far post. Unmarked. Free header. Ain't going to miss. And finally we get all we deserve, which is the second goal. But can the new look Sunderland team do it? Can they hold on the top 4? That's the question. Sometimes the world will have you believe that you always need to be moving forward and that staying where you are is stagnation. I personally disagree. And so whilst I am desperate for us to qualify for the Champions League for next year, the most important thing is we just don't take steps backwards. We just have to play European football next season, and I don't want it to be the Conference League. That's the bare minimum, but yeah, Europa League, there's nothing wrong with just going to the Europa League after the Conference League. We haven't got to go all the way to the Champions League for the following year. Just don't take steps backwards. Sadiki, oh, what a save, Vicario. He's been on fire. Got to go for the win here, man. Like, despite Leeds having the lead at one point, it's been mostly all Sunderland, and it is deserved that we are back in front. Brian Brobby with the goal, and we do restore the lead in a topsy-turvy game. Got to go to the away end there on that side. Double B 7 for the 8. He's been a streaky scorer this season, but he comes up big in big moments. He's done it again. Well, that is going to do it, and Sunderland will hold on for the win. Brilliant game, that. 5-goal thriller, but we edge it by a single one, courtesy of Brian Brobby's brace. Can we hold on to top 4? I just don't know, man. It's going to take some time for us to start clicking with our new look lineup. I guess we'll just wait and see. Anyway, following contest, we'll jump into it. I'll try and squeeze in 2 more today on the back of a hectic January transfer deadline day. Midweek, Wednesday night, Everton comes to the Stadium of Light, still in the top 4 on the back of that win, but due to how congested it is right now, we need to keep this winning run going. Back to back now, let's make it 3 straight. How are the lads? So second half is underway here. 10 after the restart. We're still tied at 0-0. There's been very little going on. And it's one of those games where the absence of last year's assist leader Diarra and our best player in terms of rating and certainly passing, Adam Wharton, missing, shows you how difficult it's going to be. Oh, great build-up. You ain't going to miss that, bro. We could have cut it back, but I didn't need to. Didn't need to. Come on. He's going to give us the big challenge. 8 for the year. He's a streaky scorer, man. He's a streaky scorer. I'll say it once again. He'll go missing for a few weeks and then have a run where he's almost unstoppable. 3rd and 2. Sunderland lead. Half an hour to close out a huge victory. Well, unlike the Leeds game, this has been anything but action-packed, but the result is going to read the same. Sunderland win, and for the 3rd game in a row, we'll notch up the victory, which is going to keep us in the top 4. As Esteve comes all the way forward here. He's found Adingra inside the area. Keeps holding the ball. Go to the corner. Because that is going to do it. It is going to be 3 points for the Black Cats. Back to form, and Lord knows we needed it. And thank goodness for that. Well, it was a big storm for Sunderland. Out of form, losing 2 of our star players, but we have definitely stabilised. 3 really solid wins in a row. I'll take that. Oh, get in! And Southampton just held Manchester United, so it means that when we look at the table right now, those 3 successive wins, when I can get there, mean that with 12 games to go, we are clear of Manchester United. Now, they've fallen to 9th in the table, and I'm saying to Ahmad, if you're watching now, yeah, next season we are coming for you. But to be fair, we're only 5 clear of Nottingham Forest, we're only 6 clear of Arsenal, 7 clear of Spurs and Newcastle. It's not done yet. There's still a long way to go. Right, following it, I think we'll end on this as well. It is the FA Cup 4th round. Wycombe Wanderers, the Chair Boys, coming to the Stadium of Light. We're winning this game. We'll see us reach the last 16 of the FA Cup for the 3rd successive year. It's been a tough campaign for Sunderland in terms of the transfer drama, but on the pitch now we are stabilising, and let's get our 4th win in a row in all competitions. Wycombe Wanderers, our final game today. So theoretically, there's still a chance we could go for 3 great things coming the end of the season. Top 4 in the Premier League, FA Cup winners, and Conference League winners as well. And if I could only choose one, I know it sounds crazy giving up 2 trophies, but as Fatawu almost caught the man out of the near post there, I would choose qualifying for the Champions League. As much as it would mean to end a decades-long wait for a major honour, I would choose getting into the Champions League. And I would say as well, that might be the most difficult thing to do out of all 3 as well, due to the strength of teams and what we went through in January. Burrows denied, brilliant save, still goalless for now. This is not what I expected. 18 minutes to go. It's been literally all one-way traffic, as you'd expect in a game like this. You know, the EFL side, massive underdogs away. Oh, come on. I'm going to put you under any pressure defensively, but going forward, I mean, just not good enough. I mean, like right there, none of the blue shirts wanted to come forward. 2 of them did, but no one else wanted to come forward there. And can we finally get that breakthrough with what is 17 minutes to play? It's been a really frustrating afternoon. That's a great ball through. Watson's onto it. Oh. Okay, that's fine. It's not what I meant to do, but it has worked out as the goal. What I wanted Rig to do there was run round the back, but he's just come back here, man. He's just been recalled. He ain't got that kind of feel for the team yet, but he'll get it. There was so much. Look at Rig. I'm like, bro, go there. No, he just stands where he is. But Fatawu says, F this, I'll do it myself, as he so often does. Kisses both posts. 1-0. Better late than never. Sunderland escape. And as that will do it for today's episode as well, guys, I just want to say a massive thank you for watching. I really hope you have enjoyed it. A few less games than usual, but crazy drama on transfer deadline day that I really hope you enjoyed. And as we make it through to that last 16, we'll see who we've got. It is going to be in the FA Cup 5th round, Wrexham at home, so another EFL side, and we are certainly getting the kind draws we were hoping for in the cups. Have a brilliant day, guys. Much love to you, and I'll see you for the next episode. We'll return with more games in the Premier League. We're not going to catch Man City, but we are right now 5 clear in the race for a Champions League place, and we'll have the draw for the Conference League last 16, and I think we'll play both ties as well, I believe. Have a brilliant day though, guys. Much love to you all, and I will see you for the next episode of Career Mode very soon.